I'm on Psycho 45. Okay, so I believe what I need to do... Oh, I need to talk to Tala. I believe I need to go up to the hub and work on the hacking stuff that I'm doing up there. I only have 2 upgrade points. I'm trying to save up 3 so I can get a +2 over here. Let's just see what's on the other side real quick. See if there's any convos. Nope. Okay. Let's talk to Tala first. Oh, I forgot. I need to Windows volume mixer this game. What's the problem? Where my volume mixer at? It's not letting me do it. Maybe I can actually do it in the game now. Problem is, sometimes the music's very quiet and sometimes it's very loud. Right now it's not that loud, so it's hard to tell how loud it's gonna be. Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty, tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. It's ready. She is grinning ear to ear. The gorilla? Obviously. She grabs you by the arm before you can ask anything else, and drags you into the back room. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, the newly installed lights making the place look clean, whether it is or not. Tala has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal crate, where 2 glasses with a few fingers of pale Gorola sit inside waiting. She smiles. I haven't even tried it yet. You can see she is nervous. You both sit at the makeshift table, a slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. Tala hands you a glass. Cheers, she says solemnly, and knocks the glass back. You do the same. The first sensation is burning, a sharp, nose-clearing blast of alcohol that has your frame querying whether you would like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it is only then, behind the burn, that you taste the earthy tones of the mushrooms, the wood and the soil left behind like sediment, barely there. Not bad, actually. Tala raises an eyebrow. You sure? Maybe needs diluting. Tala swills the Gorola in her glass. That might work. Open it up a bit. Tala grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface and drips some drops of water into the Gorola. Try again. This time the burn is a warming glow, harsh but fading off, and the woodiness less heavy. You taste something floral in among the marshy decay, something fresh and bright that you never expected to find. Both you and Tala meet eyes. It's really good, right? It is. Tala grins with her whole face, and that makes you smile too. Tala pours out some more Gorola, and then adds some more water. The action's already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tala tucks her feet up beneath her on the stool, folding her legs. She looks down into her glass and swirls the liquid thoughtfully. What's on your mind? Tala looks up at nothing in particular. My father opened this place, you know, she says out of nowhere, a thought suddenly becoming words. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for my family, when we got to the Eye. You were refugees? From Sinza, yeah. It's one of Ember's moons. She takes a drink. I don't remember much. It was only tiny when we came. I was just thinking about something he told me. When he first set this place up, he wanted to call it the Bantayan, but he was afraid it'd scare off the customers, so he kind of translated it. Hence, the Overlook. And these past few cycles, when I've been in here, I've been thinking that I should rename the place. She looks at you. The Bantayan. What do you think? What does it mean? Dad said he translated it to Overlook, so something like that. Watchtower, maybe? Lookout? Tala picks up her glass. That settles it then. To the Bantayan. You both clink your glasses and drink up. Tala hisses through her teeth. Still harsh. She laughs, then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Oh, sleeper! I totally forgot! She stumbles to her feet. She lurches over to a corner of the room, covered with a plastic sheet, and whips it off like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a neat little kitchen, sink, a work surface, and a compact oven with a hob. Your kitchen? She doesn't give you time to respond. You can come make stuff here any time, as long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the Gorola. I was thinking too, that if things pick up, we can start serving proper food at the Overlook. The Bantayan. She laughs. Do you like it? It's perfect. Tala gives you a hug, then quickly stands back. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you're here. She grins. Me too. As Tala tidies away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back through to the bar, and you share a glass of the good Gorola, the one she didn't distill. And this time, you talk about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best place to eat on the Eye, which after everything that's happened, feels like a nice change of pace. When it comes time to leave, you promise to cook for Tala and agree to let her know which shifts you'll be working in the coming cycles, and then slip out into the cool of the rotunda. And in this moment, you feel, for once, at home. Free Spirit achievement unlocked. And I completed another drive. Which one was it? Improve the Overlook. The Overlook is now the Bantayan, and it has a distillery and a kitchen. You were very fond of it. Yeah, that's cool. Running out of things to do. Oh, I've got new actions I can do here now. I can cook Matsutake caps or Gorilla caps. The Matsutake require a softer touch. You learn to thinly slice and lightly fry them to keep their flavor. You haven't exactly mastered the art of cooking mushrooms, but a couple of handfuls of fried gorillas always beat expired rations. Yeah. Okay. So now I need to go... up to the hub because I'm trying to do this deal with Killer thing, and I gotta gain mainframe access. So let's descend to the hub. This branch has been unlocked. Okay, I need an encrypted key for that one. And an encrypted key for that one. So if we look at the hacking, we've got 2 key nodes. We need a 6 for this one. Oh, or a 3? Okay, looks like I can use the 3. Okay, I got a key. How do we get the other one? Need a 5 or a 3? Well, I got 5s for days up here, so... Alright, I got both keys. So now I can go to these branches, use the keys. This branch has been unlocked. And let's unlock the last one. Alright, we've unlocked them all. Let's go to the mainframe. Okay, what are we doing here? I can slice hardware. Forget hacking the system. Killer has to die. If you can slice the branch connections, the mainframe will shut down, freeing Navigator. Killer is dead. The Killer protocol has been running for long enough. Breaking the mainframe's final connections will end the protocol. Or I can loop branches. With access to the branches, you could redirect them to form a loop, isolating the mainframe with Killer inside, but freeing Navigator, in theory. The Killer protocol can be isolated without being destroyed. A loop of connections would lock it into a closed system. I mean, I kind of feel like I should kill it, not catch it. But catching it seems to be a more difficult task. By the way, I have my 3 points. So, what thing do I want to get a +2 to? I mean, right now it would be helpful to get engineer, or... No, I can't get interface. It would be helpful to get engineer, but I still think I want intuit. So I'm gonna get intuit. +2. And now I'm going to I think I'm going to do the killer is dead route. I don't see any reason to keep it around. 100% positive. You isolate a clump of thick wires and run your torch through them all. The mainframe shudders. Take that, killer. And we'll go for round 2. Use my last action of the day. Alright, well, we've done it. As you blink into the cloud, you see the last flickers of life from the mainframe. This vast machine once ran the whole station, span it up, directed and processed the flow of energy, water, and data, fed the lives of thousands of people. Now, it is finally dead. Navigator is beside you, and you both watch as the branches flash and twist like forked lightning until they recede and fade. Killer flickers across the scene, blindly flailing as the system breaks down. They thrash as they blink in and out all around, parts of them disappearing with each return until only the blade-like head remains, and then that too is broken. It all goes dark. Erlen Eye now without a center, and yet is unmoved by the change. Along the rim, the master control points that Erlen, that Havenage, that Sci-Fi installed run strong and steady, puppeteering the station from its rim. This was a long time coming, says Navigator, drifting faintly around you in a lazy orbit, as if to shake off their imprisonment. Killer had been wandering blind for so long. This place was their domain and prison, and they had followed their directives for the many decades they roamed here. They cut the threads of the mainframe, executed its administrator AIs, and then kept slicing. At some point, they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak. And yet they kept cutting, until only those 3 threads remained, from millions that once thrummed here. Only their blindness and chance kept them from making those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this. Those that will execute commands endlessly, even to their own destruction. It is good you ended it here. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There is something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from this central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it. But this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than a totalizing system of control. Totalizing? Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. This station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you, their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it can be a refuge. A refuge? That sounds like something of value. Something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision. A distant curve of something like smoke or oil. A fluid, shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so hunter or killer could never reach it. Now it is closed off to us, separated from the cloud. What system is inside it? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you. And we have now seen what decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If we could extract an access cipher. They pause and then blink out of existence. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Here, the cipher you need. You take it, still shocked. I am not used to being free, to being able to move and explore and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some getting used to. Thank you for this gift. They whirl their spheres around you. The entities of this station will always be friends to you, Sleeper. And I to them. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit I had not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you rapidly, suddenly eager to test their newfound freedom. In before Navigator becomes the overlord AI that destroys humanity. But first I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems, cut off. Navigator glows. I should like to free them. And with that they drift away, flickering, glowing, then shifting so rapidly you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the eye. You feel a pang of jealousy. Free, without a body to weigh you down, or fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you have celebrated this victory. Got another upgrade point because I completed another drive. Killer won't be a problem anymore. Neovend and any other digital entities left on the station are free to wander. So, I've got the Greenway cipher now, which is cool. Can't do anything with 1 point, really. Okay, well, I need to go back and rest now because I'm out of actions. I didn't use any energy today, though, which is great. Oh, Splode, how you doing? Good to see you. Wow, 4 years. You've subscribed for 4 years? That is amazing. I can't even comprehend how that's even possible. Like, 4 years? It doesn't feel like that long. Wow. Thank you, Splode. Still waiting on these mushrooms to grow. You hit 40 this year and that still hasn't settled in either. Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard for me to really conceive of the fact that I'm in my 40s. I still feel like a kid, basically, in a lot of ways. Alright, I gotta rest. In your head, you're in your 20s still? I don't feel like I'm in my 20s, but I feel like I'm in my 30s. In a lot of ways. Still, sometimes, you know, there's things where it's just like, I don't have as much energy as I used to. I have more aches and pains, and just random crap that indicates my body is falling apart. But, like, as far as mentally, I don't feel like a 40-something-year-old man. Energy is full. Let's feed the cat. I appreciate you being here, Splode. So I got some crappy ones today. But I also got a 6. Okay. So what do I actually want to do now? Now that I completed that hacking thing. I want to get some mushrooms, is what I want to do. I got plenty of money. I don't need to worry about making money now. Oh, you got yourself the rest of the pieces for a new hobby today. Well, tell me about that. Oh, that sounds awesome. So you've got some good equipment now. That sounds cool. Holy crap, record in 8K up to 10 hours in a row? That's some amazing battery life. Truly amazing. Didn't have left and right inputs. Finally, I can harvest mushrooms. It's about time. The fruiting bodies are appearing. Girollas are easy to find, but Matsutake and other stranger types will require extra effort. Take your pick. Ah, this is based on Intuit, which is the thing I just raised. That's good. The crop of fruiting bodies has broken the surface of the mulch. Once harvested, you'll have to grow more. So I can only get 3 harvests. If I put a 1... No, I don't need to use 1s. I can re-roll those. If I put a 3 in there... If I put a 6 in there, it's guaranteed good. Okay, what did I get? I got Matsutake caps, but I didn't get the Gorolla that I needed. Oh, I did. No, I didn't. Let's put the 3 in there. Okay, I still got... Oh, I got Gorolla caps this time. Pale peppery mushrooms used for flavoring I-made alcohol. Yeah, so anyways, kind of stoked. I live near the redwoods and can drive over to the beach. Got a little mounting camera for my car so I can record the 152 in coastal drives. Really? That sounds awesome. What are you going to do with the footage? You select a set of healthy large caps. The smell is rich and complex, and it reminds you of some of the best meals you've consumed on the eye. Okay, we're gonna re-roll these. We're gonna use this 3. Alright, so we got 3 Gorolla, 3 Matsutake this time. And now the yield is complete. We still got a 4 we can use. Ah, Spore Catcher achievement. So we got... Grow mushrooms. Your first harvest is complete. The aviary is all set up to grow mushrooms now. Great. You're gonna get into editing more? Audio editing is new to you. Oh, that sounds cool. I like it. High quality backgrounds for computers with rain sounds and whatnot. That sounds amazing. That sounds really good. I can germinate spores again. Oh, but I don't have any more spores. If I want spores, I've got to collect them here. Okay, I got spores. I see. I need 3 spores to start the grow. And I'm out of actions, so... But you know what I can do? I can take these mushrooms and I can give some to Emphas. I've had this quest or this drive since like the beginning of the game. It took me forever to get these mushrooms for him. Emphas wants to make this old recipe. He'll need 3 handfuls of gorilla caps, fresh and firm. I just so happen to have 3. That sounds exciting, Explode. Sounds really fun. Emphas eagerly takes the bright yellow gorilla caps. He seems pleased with them. Emphas is working on gathering the ingredients and preparing the mushrooms. He doesn't like to rush these things. So he's going to be working on mushrooms for 3 days, and I can't talk to him. That's a lot of busyness of mushrooms. I could also cook some matsutake caps. Oh, get a lot of energy for that. Tala always comes to look when you cook matsutake. The smell draws her in. You eat the mushrooms together with a glass of her gorilla. Cool. Refilled my energy. Alright, now I'm going to go back to my place. I'm going to feed this cat. I'm going to use this stabilizer to go back up to full health so I can have 5 dice. And then I'm gonna end the cycle. Look at all those 1s. 4 1s and a 6? That's pretty crazy. Okay, so what am I actually doing? I have to wait on the Emphas thing. What do I have left to work on in this game? Nothing down this way, I don't think. I've got the Yannick's Ward. I haven't even started on this. That's going to take a while. And I've got some stuff up in the hub. Oh, 80 cryo for 3 batches of matsutake, but I don't really need the cryo particularly. I kind of want to start... Don't really need to work in the farm stacks. Kind of want to start working the commune. I've never done anything there yet. Oh, I do need one more spore to start this grow. So let's get one more spore. Now what happens if I... it's not great. I don't know that I want to use my 6 on this, though. So, if I go to the Haifa commune, I can become a member. The only way to become part of the commune is to work your way in through long service. It isn't for everyone. I can work the canteen, which is safe. I guaranteed to get some progress, or I could get a lot of progress. Or I could work the grow beds. Same thing. So it's just a matter of engage or endure, and I'm equally good at both of them. So, I mean, I could throw all these ones... Oh, but I can re-roll all the ones. I just need to use this 6 up. Get a +3 here. After seeing you prepare the food, the grow bed workers invite you to share a meal with them. The conversation flows warmly and freely. Okay, I can re-roll all my dice. Oh, look at all those 6s! What? New drive discovered. Join the Haifa commune. Haifa commune meets the needs of its members in exchange for work. Could you find a home here? Volunteer at the commune. Cool. Got 2 upgrade points. I'm only 1 point away from getting another +2. Okay. I got a lot of 6s there. I should do something hard. Well, let's get some guaranteed spores. Okay, so now we've got the clock. 4 days until it grows more mushrooms. Let's start working on... Let's start working on the Annex Ward. So he wants me to patrol the block. The massive block at the center of the low end is made up of layers and layers of units. Patrolling this vertical city is a challenge. But this one is dangerous, and I need a lot of progress. So this is a perfect place to blow a couple of 6s. Factories, restaurants, surgeries, schools. The layers of the block are rich with stories and problems to solve. We're starting to learn them all. Let's get some good progress on this. Then I think I'll take that 1, and I will go back to the commune. Because there's no downside to failing on this commune thing. So I might as well use the 1 here. Let's try working the grow beds. The grow beds are at the heart of the commune, feeding the members and fueling their lab work. You're invited to assist in maintaining them. Alright, I got a +2. The dirt of the beds is rich. How did the commune manage to establish such a good biome here? You wonder on it as you work. Y'all got a great biome here. It's a compliment that I often tell people. Back that biome up. I like big biomes and I cannot lie. I don't know. Go to the repaired unit. Beat the cat again. Matsutake caps. And, we got full energy, so good to go to end the cycle. Why did the action to repair myself... Oh, I didn't. What was the other action that was up here? I forgot now. Okay, do we have anything new going on? Not sure. Nor am I. Waiting for Amphis to finish his thing. Let's use a 6 at Yannick's ward. Oh, that's progressing really fast, actually. Let's go across. Waiting for the mushrooms to grow. Let's do this. I didn't get energy this time. I was hoping for some free energy. You watch as commune members come and go to the canteen, shouting to each other and mixing freely. It feels good to serve them. Okay, that's a negative outcome. I think I'll use this last one to get some... You know what? I got plenty of energy. I got energy enough for this day. Alright, I'm just getting one at a time here, but I should have re-rolled those ones. What the hell's wrong with me? Why didn't I re-roll those ones? That was dumb. Have you seen that new Top Gun movie, Splode? I saw it today with my dad. Wasn't bad. I liked it, actually. Guess we're just done for the day. Yeah, I thought it was better than I was expecting it to be. Do a little self-repair. Do a little feeding of the cat. The best-selling movie of all time? No way. That's insane. Okay. Um... That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. You know what? I should use the 6 on Yannick's ward before doing anything else. Cool, I finished this one. Probably check it out in the next few weeks. Yeah. Might as well. Well, I just went to see it because my dad and I like going to the movies together, but the vast majority of movies, well, most movies that are in the theaters I'm not interested in, but I'm interested in some, but he's usually not interested in, like, hardly any movies in the theaters. Like, he doesn't like any kind of sci-fi, he doesn't like any kind of superhero movies, he certainly doesn't like any kind of thing animated, and neither of us like horror movies, and by the time you eliminate all those categories, you've eliminated most of the movies that are in the theaters nowadays, right? I think if I click this, it's going to bring up a conversation with Yannick. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder, stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Yeah, there's been less. Yeah, I love sci-fi. I would say my favorite genre in theory, and this is a big caveat, in theory, my favorite genre is fantasy. But the problem is almost no good fantasy movies ever get made. Like, 90% of all fantasy movies that get made suck. So it's not a genre that you get to enjoy on the big screen very often. Lord of the Rings, good, yeah. Yeah, I can't even really think of any good fantasy movies other than Lord of the Rings, but Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I pretty much liked Game of Thrones all the way through. I didn't have a problem with the ending. I mean, it was a little bit weird. Everything didn't make sense, but I still thought it was pretty entertaining, but The Witcher TV show is good fantasy. Hey, 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 son. How you doing? I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. A pause. You had a nap? Not a very long nap, huh? But glad you were more refreshed. I killed Killer in the game. Killed him. And it felt good. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty bad at staying asleep. Yeah, I know you are. It's risky, but obviously you are the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to S&ARP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says be careful. Sabine continues. The data suggests there's some relay, processing the implant data and sending it to S&ARP, but we can't lock down its position. Either he's moving it, or it's moving itself, or it is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You'll get one shot at this. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, Sleeper. I'm sorry, too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder, just in case, and walk away. Looks like it's up to you, just like everything else has been. Trying to remember what kind of voice I used for Yannick, and I have no idea. I'm going to talk to him. Find the relay. Yannick has asked you to collect his medicine from his office. Now is the only chance to find that S&ARP relay. With my +2 and Intuit, I make that 4 a 6. Guaranteed success. Although it kind of looks like the worst thing that can happen is also success, so I don't know. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. Don't rush the relay. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you'd grab the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of S&ARP. Rabiah said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has S&ARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology. A puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings, then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it. A remote connection, a tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to S&ARP. There it is. S&ARP, S&ARP. You pause for a moment. Then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame, and it crumples, sparks, and dies. This seems risky. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then out into the walkway, where Yannick lies still, enforcers gathered around him bemused. Oh, did this, kill him? I'm gonna approach. You push through the crowd, and there he is, still, crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how thin his body is under his suit. You wonder how long he has been like this, a puppet for S&ARP. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick the man was gone a long time before. You place a hand on his chest. You are sorry for him, but it is done now, and you did not kill this man. I beg to differ, narrator. You kinda did. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was, or had become, is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on S&ARP. Remote control achievement unlocked. Speak to Rabiah about what happened. Okay, I'm going to reroll all those ones. So I need to speak to Rabiah. Emphasis thing is done. He finally wants to talk to me. I haven't talked to Emphas since the beginning of the game because it took forever to find his stupid mushrooms. Got the second set of mushrooms growing. I don't see Rabiah around to talk to, though. Oh. There's a clock on Rabiah's office. The aftermath. The low end is wild with stories about Yannick's death. You were still waiting for Rabiah to get in touch, but you trust that she will. I got 4 days on that. Alright, let's talk to Emphas. Been ages since we talked to Emphas. Emphas is preparing the Corolla caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe, he says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish-white bulb you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms, and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there, in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. "We have a moment, Sleeper." He smiles. "Do you have a story?" Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match that feeling somehow, and maybe you will feel better for telling it. Let's recall our oldest memories. You start by explaining that when you are emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable. Or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you, like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which, despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think of it as familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but just can't bring it to mind. Memphis nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. That is how I feel. I have a hard time with memories. I've forgotten so much, and I have a hard time remembering things, but my memories from a certain period of my life, like from the age of about 14 till, I don't know, mid-20s, like I can remember things that happened and visualize things, but it doesn't feel real. Like it doesn't feel like that person in those memories was actually me. It feels like I was such a completely different person that I feel detached from it now. It's really weird. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Memphis finishes cooking and meets your eye. "I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles." He puts the wok to one side. "I appreciate you sharing with me." He smiles. "I hope it lightens you a little." He passes you a bowl and heaps the gorollas into it, their yellow color mixing with the pale sauce in whorls and blooms. "Eat." The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that S&ARP left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course, Your frame only needs raw power, so much is wasted. And yet, while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphas takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways, back into the bright market, somehow changed. But that did not complete the get to know Emphas drive. So I'm going to have to wait for some more Emphas stuff. This is new though. Emphas mentions an old recipe for matsutake broth. All he needs are 2 handfuls of matsutake caps, freshly sourced. Now I have those, but I believe that this is probably going to restore energy, and I have all my energy, so I don't want to do this right now. I want to do it when I'm lower on energy, so I don't waste any possible energy restoration that goes with it. Okay, so let's go back across. We're waiting on the aviary. Let's put in some work on the old Haifa commune. We only need 2. Got it. Communist. Achievement unlocked. I just straight up got the achievement Communist. Okay. I've completed a lot of drives. You are now part of the commune and can live and work amongst its members. Okay, so what do we have going on here? We've got the Haifa dorm. Oh, is that another home for me? We've got somebody named Rico that we can talk to now. Commune botanist. At the commune, we can just work and get energy. Commune members are expected to turn up for work assignment, and in return, their needs will be met. All are treated equally. Okay, well, we don't need that right now. The Haifa dorm is another place we can live. But there's no cat here. Alright, let's see what's up with this Rico character. I can get another +2. I think I'm going to get Engage. You were right, son. You get a shitload of upgrade points. I've already gotten more things than I thought I was going to be able to in the whole game. Rico. Suave. You remember that? You remember that song? You remember that video? Rico. Suave. Just pouring myself a little more Diet Dr. Pepper here. Alright, let's see what's up with Rico. Head of the Haifa Botany. Oh, that's a crutch. At first I thought she had a rifle. It's like, that's kind of scary. The crutch, though. Crutches are a crutch, honestly, in my opinion. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue painted line that is labeled Laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at a lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary. She smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. I did not know that she still uses a cane sometimes, son. What is this place? Here? These were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. What is Haifa? You don't miss crutches? Yeah, well, I don't think anybody does. She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here. We feed each other. We work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth. It's a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they are abandoned? They die? Eventually, yes. They cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station. Not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlen himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet, here we are. among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet, too, a rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny, broad leaves of shrubs. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you both stand in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system has stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants, or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Aren't you the botanist? Astutely noticed, but I don't need a botanist. Rico sits on a railing. These holes run deep, Sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings. Hey, that's a stereotype, lady. I know that much, and you can speak to the eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. Hashtag not all robots. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. I will try. Thank you, she smiles. And thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She is a little slower now, and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, Sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made. And you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible, magical green. Okay, we got a new drive. Help Rico's experiments. The botanist Rico wants you to help her understand the closed ecosystem of the Greenway. Collect some spores. We gotta collect more spores. Haifa Labs, Commune Botany Labs. Rico's asked for samples of spores from the deep groves of the Greenway. With them, she might better understand how this biosphere functions. But I've got some grove spores literally right here. She wants special ones from deep below or something? I mean, I can get spores right here. So I don't know. You know what I should try to do now? I should try to open the Greenway gate. I have the Greenway cipher. The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? Input the cipher. I got question mark, question mark, question mark. The cipher burns away as it is slotted, the data sparking like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? What is touch paper? The Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The hunter and killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why, then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in, the entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. A billion individuals moving in a flow. A billion is a lot. There is no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them. A figure turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. They are facing away. At least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown, that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. That is the gardener. An ingrown farm administrator. That makes me think of like an ingrown toenail, and I'm like, oh, poor gardener, he's ingrown. Just getting under a blanket here because my air conditioner works extremely well. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Yeah, cozy time. Yep. AC is still blasting too? Yeah. Well, where I sit at my desk, the AC is not very far away, and it blows right on me pretty much. And it puts out some really cold air, so I don't want to turn it off because I like having it cool in here. But sometimes I still want to use a blanket. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. I got some kind of seed. Gardener's seed. A seed. You need to find somewhere safe to plant this gift. Find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. Oh, I've got to bring in Matsutake caps now. Collect spores for Rico. I don't know how I get to these deep tunnels she's talking about. I mean, is she literally just saying go to the same place you've already been gathering spores and gather more spores? Because I can do that. Got 2 grove spores. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this seed thing, but I guess we'll figure it out. There's nothing I really care to do at the commune now. Haifa Labs, Aviary, Mushroom Groves, Farm Stacks. Well, I can start putting some spores in right now. Rico is grateful for the contribution. Sleeper, you warm my heart with each delivery. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Let's get some more spores, I think. Yeah, let's get some more spores. Got 2 spores. Oh, I can talk to Rico again. Well, that was a surprisingly quick and easy task compared to what most of these people want. Let's talk to Rico again. Sleeper. Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here. Come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console, wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves. But I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Tricoloma Matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it was nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel of chemical composition on her console, all gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. I've always loved me some obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Modified? Yes, every species on the Eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course, but that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. I don't understand. Look at the composition. They are totally different. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals. Different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have, and still are, affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. She meets your eye, and herein lies our problem. Feels like a lot of characters in this game want you to get mushrooms or spores for them. Like 3 or 4 characters that are like, I need some mushrooms. Didn't know mushrooms were this big a deal on this station. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake, like rotting, sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. Shrooms are divine, are they? Take your word for it. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stalks, pulled from a spore vault in this complex. She winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. 47? What does that mean? Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much he is enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores. I've already done that. I've literally already done that. So we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Oh, your food is done in 47 minutes? What are you cooking, son? Rico looks impressed. Well, well, an eager mycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place for its proximity to the groves. Quiche. Oh, that sounds delicious. I love quiche. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions, their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what is happening here, of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Riko pops the Matsutake cap into her mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. Okay. Everybody just wants to eat mushrooms, and they're not willing to do any mushroom work themselves. I'm the mushroom supplier for this whole station. Well, I'm out of actions, and I'm full on energy, so I guess I can just go to bed. Farm stacks, Founder's Ferry. But the thing is, I need to give... She wants mushrooms, but I still need to give these Matsutake caps to Emphas, too. And a grow bed for the seed. I gotta wait. Oh yeah, I still gotta wait the full set of days for the Rabaya thing. I know I could stay at the commune, but I don't want to stay at the commune. I put a lot of work into setting this place up for myself. Plus, if I stay at the commune, then there's nobody here to feed the cat. Ending cycle. I think I'm officially in that part of the game you talked about, son, where there's no more threats and everything's just become super easy. I think that's the part I'm on. Nothing really going on down here. Okay, where... I'm gonna go to Emphasis stall and give him these Matsutakes. Emphas inhales the deep autumnal aroma of the Matsutake caps and nods. He seems impressed. And... oh, but he's not that impressed, because I can't talk to him. Oh, right, he needs to spend some days readying the broth. Apparently there are some ingredients he still needs to source. Okay. Waiting on that. Let's go back across. One thing I do want to do on this day is gather some more scrap. Is this gonna go well? Not necessarily. I'm just gonna re-roll all of my dice. Ooh, it made it worse! Oh no! Have you checked the eye lately? You mean the hub? Oh no. I messed this up. Well, that's okay. I've got enough condition that I don't have to use scraps today. Because... well, I was just up there killing Killer a couple days ago. 2 or 3 days ago. Let's see if there's anything going on up there now that's new. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff up here that I still need to do. But, just putting it off until... right, I still need to scout the dock. And do this business. These are all risky actions, and now my dice are completely terrible. Let's go find something safe I can do. I do have a +2 to this. I don't really want to lose energy, though, all that badly. Literally just waiting on this clock. I could get some free energy here. It says it's safe, so... alright, I filled out my energy. But what am I going to do with all these 1s and 2s? Just make some money, I guess. It says this freight operator job is safe. What about working for Tala? It says it's risky, but doesn't seem that risky because it seems like you still get 10 cryo. Let's try it. Oh, you can lose energy. You sleepwalk through your shift, eye on the clock. You break a glass, and the sound seems to reverberate inside your skull. Okay, well... what I'm gonna do then is I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna do this because it seems like nothing bad will happen. Midline's freight systems are a nightmare of stats, raw code, and manifests. You just about managed to meet your quota. You flick through schedules, revising the timetable to squeeze in extra shipments. The automated payout reflects your efforts. Okay. I think that's it for today. Feed the cat again. Ending cycle. I still kind of think the idea of pre-rolling all your D20s in D&D would be pretty interesting. You'd have to roll quite a few of them, though, because you never know how many you're gonna need. I got some 6s this time. Okay. Still waiting on Rabia's thing. I'm gonna do one scrap gathering automatic success. I'm gonna go... Riko needs mushrooms grown in the aviary to study. She'll accept Gorola caps, but Matsutake caps are better. The pale and delicate Gorola mushrooms are more abundant than the Matsutake, but Riko says they still help the process. The rich and pungent Matsutake caps are Riko's preferred subject of study. Something about their environmental sensitivity. Making shit up. Okay. Alright, I can finally harvest some mushrooms. It's safe, and I got a +2 to it. So, let's just... I don't even need to use a 6 here, actually. Okay, I got a couple Matsutake. Okay. What I want to do is use that 6 somewhere else. Let's go up to the hub. And use that 6 up here. Let's do some spacer socializing. The hub is thronging with spacers from across the surrogate systems. It could be a prickly bunch, but they know the place well. Somehow you end up on a fraction drive freighter for a long-awaited reunion between 2 spacer crews. Their knowledge is invaluable. Okay, now I can re-roll the 2. Still got a 2. Alright. Can re-roll the 2. What gives energy? What tasks give energy? I forgot. Oh, working at the commune gives energy. There we go. And then now I can use the scraps that I got today to repair myself so that I don't go down to 4 dice. Strats. And now I can rest. Ooh, good rolls today. Okay. So let's go first. Let's go up top. Do some stuff with these good dice. I'm gonna scout the sidereal dock. You watch the loading crews going back and forth, noting their paths and entryways. Could this work? Wait, what was that? Oh, there's the gimbal lounge up here now. That's new. Spacer bar. The gimbal sells itself on its spinning sphere, which claims to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't, but they sell food. I'll buy some of their spacer meal. I got so much money I don't even care. Spacer food is a slurry of modified compounds and vitamins laced with a dose of algae. It's effective nutrition, but little else. That sounds gross. Sounds like a terrible time. Start to draw connections from manifest to manifest, noting the patterns and flows. There's something beautiful in the chaos. Alright, Weightless Wanderer is done. Now we've discovered Bliss, the ship mechanic. And also Keisho capsules, spacer sleeping berths. Only place to sleep on the hub. Packed off a colony ship and welded to the ring, they are surprisingly expensive to rent. Why would I ever want to rent a capsule? I've got like 18 places to sleep down below. Why would I spend money on this? I don't understand. Let's see about this Bliss. Huh. Interesting looking character. No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to the shitheels who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out of the bay as you pass, and moments later, what you assume is Moritz drifts out with it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by a tether. Hey, you out there! The same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Who, me? Everyone on this station is looking for work. Get in here. The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She is floating in the microgravity of the docking bay, beside a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it might have exploded at some point. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? She doesn't wait for an answer. Scratch that. Just help me with the casing. Help her. All right, then. She deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central seam in the dented case. Just take a grip here and lift out and up. Then I can get it in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with the wrench. Whole thing is twisted to shit. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift it away, the metal squealing with the force. She puts her hands under, spinning the wrench to slip out the bolts, catching them in her other hand when they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and filters. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little in the way of an explanation. What do you do here?
Repairs, fit-ups, tear-downs.
Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes.
We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quick by the bigger bays. So here I am trying to get this M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. That's small-time stuff. Hold this.
She rips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish.
We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we get a chance at landing something bigger.
Something starts hissing in the unit, and Bliss quietens it. Quietens it? You could just say quiets. Quietens? With a precise whack.
But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking their lips, ready to take this place over.
She looks up at you.
Almost out of luck.
What happened?
Long story. Some people just can't keep promises.
Oh yeah, very dodgy, Splode. She keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care.
There we are!
Bliss pulls her hand from deep inside the unit, and out it comes, clutching a lumpen cube, scorched black. Lumpen is my favorite type of cube. You mean dodgedly? What? Dodged E. Okay.
This thing must have overloaded and popped half of itself out the side.
You both duck down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, its edges fringed with more scorch marks.
Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you?
Where is it? Bliss is already elbow deep in the unit again.
You'll see it.
She waves you away. You kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks where a catalog of parts sits secured in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes flutter across the wall, a complex organizational system of Bliss's own design. Or just a big mess. You try to pick out the right part. Let's see here. It's an M2 unit. What is this thing even? Just keeps calling it the unit. A half deconstructed life support unit? I guess it's a life support unit, whatever that means. Anyway, I think we want an M2 converter. You grab the part and push back to the unit. Bliss holds out an arm and you pass it over, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand.
Perfect. You passed.
She straightens up from the unit.
That is, if you want to work here.
Bliss rubs her hands clean, looking down at her palms.
Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. You seem like you might at least be better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz.
I'd be happy to.
Wait.
She frowns at the racks.
That's not all of it. My old business partner. They rinsed the place, emptied the accounts. To bid for jobs, we need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tug fees. For that,
she looks nervous, embarrassed.
We need chits.
You want me to pay to work?
Come on, it's not like that. We'd be partners. Straight split.
This seems like a very poor investment. Very poor. I would not give this person a red cent. IRL. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance.
I guess I look pretty stupid. Here I am asking any random passerby to be my business partner. No offense.
She manages a smile. It is pretty weird. She gives you a sideways look.
Don't tease me.
Bliss goes back to working on the unit.
Look, it's no pressure. You find the money, or you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. It's up to you.
She gestures for you to help her refit the casing, and you both slot it back into place.
I think I'm good to wrap this one up for now. But if you're into it, come back and we can bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into. Something that pays.
She gives you a serious look.
You can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly.
You kick away from the bay, propelling yourself back to the handholds at the entrance. You slip out with a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear Bliss as you glide down the passageway.
Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean...
You smile. Seems like this could be interesting. I got a new drive. Bliss needs investment and hard work to turn her repair bay around. Could you be her business partner? I mean, I guess. Oh, she wants me to give her 80 cryo? Oh, I don't feel good about that. A scam or an opportunity? Bliss seems solid enough, and this might be your best chance to get in on the hub's repair trade. I mean, I can afford it, but I don't like it. Do I have anything to do back down at... the other place? Oh, I can harvest mushrooms. Let's use the 6 for that. Oh, I got some club head caps. Strange unidentified club-shaped fruiting bodies. You carefully pick out the best developed caps from the mulch, especially fascinated by the aroma of the club-like bodies you discover. Unfortunately, the fungal yield is now exhausted. Ooh, I just got another 6. So if I come back to Haifa Labs... I can put some mushrooms in here. Beautiful! Rico gishes as you hand over the golden caps. You've never seen anyone so excited about mushrooms. You hand over the caps and Rico looks pleased. My amateur mycologist, thank you. You're welcome. Looks like I've got enough here to complete this. So I can talk to Rico again. Spores. Let's germinate some new spores. Oh right, I need 3 spores to make it grow. Okay. Let's see what's up with Rico now. Rico meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, Sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, falling systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. I'll just listen. No, I'm gonna ask why. Why? Erlin was interested in people, not plants. He was a pragmatist, and for good reason. Yeah, why be interested in our food supply? You both cross through a glass-roofed tunnel, the greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the light. Erlin had written the greenway off, cut off from the rest of the station and linked to a broken spoke. He claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plans secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It is difficult to know if from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster. Nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space, the plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard. We lost good people. We cleaned up and closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many, many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed. But we kept on working, talking less and less, because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If the Greenway was going to die, so would we. What changed? Everything. Rico smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the Greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Rico smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the Greenway, until today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members planting and harvesting. For a while, Rico is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the work crews, the eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Rico smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded. But we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Rico following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that, back then, the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the matsutake or Gorola caps you've been growing? Yes. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so. She muses. After all, They were designed for you. For me. What? Rico has a mischievous look. At first I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the labs, or from the grove different to each other. But what I have come to understand is that it is the person growing them. What kind of crazy magic mushrooms are these? The matsutake and gorilla caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans, but for a sleeper like you. Rico smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the Haifa members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something. A response. It was as if this place was not just alive, as a forest is alive, but alive in other ways. Communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you, for me. It is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. The Greenway is sentient? Perhaps not the Greenway, but the ecosystem itself, or something within it. Rico sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you have been growing the gorillas and the matsutakes in the aviary, those species so familiar to the Greenway, have you discovered any others? Yes. Rico can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some next time you're here. I mean, I could give them to you right now. It doesn't have to be next time I'm here. You look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts the silence. There is a species of mushroom that I haven't seen in years. It was dark, short, shaped like a club. Yep, got it right here. We first found it in those early days, when we were working to save this place. It was around the time that we started to lose our first members. They were succumbing to some infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point, we thought we were lost. And then, these mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. We tested them, and saw that they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Well, that's convenient. Thanks, Greenway. Greenway got you back. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of the natural processes of this ecosystem, even if the timescale seemed absurdly short. But what I am wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps if you are patient, you will receive your gift too, Sleeper. Can't wait to get me some custom-tailored gift mushrooms. What do you get for the space robot that has everything? Gift mushrooms. Right, Splode? You both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you, and wonder what forces could be in play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave, with a quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to her memories. Huh. Okay. Well, that happened. Ah, now she wants club heads. Rico is eager to see the club head caps that have grown in the aviary. She hasn't seen mushrooms like this in decades. Are these fruiting bodies the same that emerged during the early days of the collapse? Or something else? Well, let's find out. So I need 3 club head caps. Okay. That means I need to get more spores to get another grow going. So let's get more spores. Let's plant some spores. Now we've got to wait again another million days, another 4 days, before we can do anything else with that. And I'm done for the day. When do we get to talk to Rabaya again? Tomorrow, it looks like. Oh, that's a negative cycle. Yeah, okay. So let's go back to our apartment. Let's repair. Let's feed the cat. Let's end this cycle. Feed the cat. Okay, so we can talk to Emphas again. That's good. Buy a ship mine fragment, but I don't think I need one for anything now. Okay, so we can talk to Emphas. We can talk to Rabaya. And I don't think there's anything we can do over here now. I mean, I can gather some more scrap, and I will, but, like, we have to wait on the aviary thing before we can do anything else over here with this whole storyline. I am going to, does a 4, how does a 4 do me? Not great. I'm just going to use the 6. I don't care. I want to make sure I get 2. Okay, so let's go back here. So before we do any more tasks today, we're going to talk to Rabaya and Emphas. But I think that is going to be next time. Let's see what cycle I'm on. 53. Okay. I'm pretty far. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Citizen Sleeper.